Hey guys, so I recently got asked a pretty interesting question. Should you order a mousepad off of AliExpress? Most people probably think absolutely not, but I decided to buy one for myself. As you can see, this masterpiece of a very based reviewer, and this was pretty insane, less than $20 USD. And I got this mousepad that's 600 millimeters times 400 millimeters with a 3 millimeters thickness, so that's a lot of space compared to other $20 pads and custom artwork. And most of these pads on AliExpress actually use the same OEM, and you can kind of tell by the pictures and kind of the pricing and just the stitched edges kind of look, and you'll see the similarities. So kind of go off which one's the cheapest one to buy. For a print of a webcam picture that's stretched, it actually came out pretty good. Like if you had an actual properly scaled and quality picture, it'd probably come out pretty accurate, especially if you make sure that your monitor is actually color accurate and you don't have any vibrance or anything, then that kind of inflates the colors. They can do pretty accurate to the colors. Like for a webcam image, this looks like a webcam image, so I can't complain. But yeah, Inked Gaming actually uses the same OEM, so a lot of reviews on Inked Gaming pads will be the same thing when it comes to surface, edges, and base. So keep that in mind. You can kind of compare prices between those two brands, and if you're in the States, Inked Gaming might be more viable, while if you're anywhere else in the world, AliExpress actually might be the more cheaper and viable option. So either way, we'll take a look at the base and I'll show you guys. I'll go from this side. It's your usual just rubber base, and because of the size, it doesn't move on me at all, and it laid perfectly flat out of its roll, which, absolutely can't complain there. And the stitching is actually pretty good. You guys won't be able to see it too well there, but it sits pretty flush to the pad, like surprisingly better than some $40 pads, and it's smooth to the touch. You won't have issues with any irritation here. But they actually do come with options to have artwork that they already chose, or no stitched edging. If you want to save money, if you don't like stitched edges, you have an option without it. It's mostly a price thing. I'd probably get the stitched edges anyways. It's only like a couple dollars when I selected that option, so it's not really a big deal. Again, it's only like $20 anyways for the whole thing. And the surface, it's like exactly what you would expect when you think of mousepad. It's like, your first mousepad you could ever imagine using. If you're like an older person, the small little square that usually came with PCs and stuff, it feels a lot like that, but because of how they apply the image to the surface, it's a lot smoother, so it feels kind of like a Vaxi PA or GSR SE, just with it's smoother than those pads, and it's a bit faster as well. I mean, I could do a quick little glide. You can kind of see it. It's pretty glidey. It's actually really balanced when you think about it, and I'd have no issues using this in Apex or Fortnite, but also Valorant and CSGO. It's like exactly what I think of balanced is kind of this pad. Even if it slows down in like a few weeks, it's still fast enough and slow enough for both of those games. So, I mean, yeah, I really don't have bad things to say about buying a mousepad off of AliExpress, other than you kind of have that Chinese rubber smell, but it went away in a week or two. And if you don't care about mousepads and you just want like a solid budget option, or if you're buying a gift for a friend and you want to kind of like a joke image on it, and they don't care about mousepads and they can use it, like there's not a lot to complain about. It's very similar to GSR SE, just a slight different surface feel, but it has that same kind of characteristics. So I mean, so should you buy a mousepad off of AliExpress? If you're on a budget, I think it's a viable option. You get a lot of price to performance here when you actually compare it to other $20 mousepads from big box stores. And just because like the sheer amount of size you get here for the price, it's really good. Like this is, it's like bigger than Artisan when you compare it, right? So I mean, if you can afford a Vaxi PA, I'd probably just get that, just because it does feel more premium, with the foam base and stuff. But I don't know. It's like, yeah, this is like a lot of good value here, especially if you don't care about mousepads. So hopefully you guys got some useful info. Anyways, if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. Peace.